In this scene from Catherine Bigelow's 1991 action thriller Point Break, the camera moves with Keanu Reeves' Johnny Utah character as he enters the Los Angeles FBI headquarters on his first day on the job. The camera is steady and fluid, probably mounted on some type of Steadicam apparatus.
Your 9 o'clock appointment is here.
And there are several whips that cut down on space and time, keeping the camera moving. Keep in mind, this is all done in one long take that follows Keanu from the entrance all the way up to the point where John C. McGinley starts to kind of bust his chops about eating the donut.
Special Agent John Utah, day number 1 in L.A. Welcome aboard. You're going over your personnel record. Very impressive. Thank you.
The scene could be defined as what Bordwell might consider ubiquitous because it simply follows two characters, in this case, like I said, through a crowded and busy office space as they walk and talk.
Yes, sir. You need a solid breakfast, Utah?
It also functions as what Bordwell might consider a moving master because we get no establishing shot of this space beforehand. So much like Keanu's character, we are entering the space for the first time and are disoriented and lost in it. It's an establishing shot that is done bilaterally, coasting along. But I think that the way that this scene is blocked makes it more than just a run-of-the-mill tracking shot. It is a shot that is accomplished with blazing bravura, as if to say, look at me. Another staple of long tracking shots that David Bordwell mentions. The filmmakers seem to be trying to one-up each other in their way of staging, blocking, and moving the camera.
I love these things.
Now in this scene, which takes place just over halfway through the film, Bigelow and her cinematographer, Donald Peterman, present the audience with a wholly different type of moving camera than in the Steadicam shot I previously mentioned. Here, a foot chase between Keanu Reeves' Johnny Utah character and Patrick Swayze's Bodhi character isn't done in one long tracking take like the office scene. Instead, it's broken up into many shots, most of which feature a frantically moving camera. In this scene, Bigelow and Peterman are using handheld moving camera to, as Bordwell puts it, convey realistic combat, something that was done a lot with the camera post-World War II. The chase feels all the more urgent and alive because of what Bordwell would say is the moving handheld camera mobile framing that, like quick cutting, boosts the scene's energy. Also, if we go back and quickly freeze a frame from the foot chase between these two characters, we can notice how the moving camera, as Bordwell would assert, creates a more voluminous pictorial space. So if you watch this shot at full speed, you see Keanu running after the camera as it speedily retreats from him down a tight alley. The camera movement highlights the tight quarters while emphasizing the speed at which he runs. The frame is packed with images that fly by, continually refilling and refreshing the frame, forcing the audience to keep up with the action. Again, this is just a kind of a masterstroke in action filmmaking in that the way that this camera moves and the way it follows the characters or is in front of the characters as they run, it creates this sense of immediacy and urgency. Again, playing into that intensified continuity that Bordwell talks about. It doesn't let us for a second kind of let up in our viewing. We have to stay attentive and stay viewing, or else we could miss something, and it's just sucking us in that much more with the immediacy and urgency of it all. And I think that Point Break, while it may be seen by a lot of people as kind of a run-of-the-mill 90s action film, I think is actually much more than that because of the way that Bigelow uses the moving camera and blocks her action scenes to achieve an almost lyrical beauty in something that could just be done as very routine action. She elevates it by the use of her moving camera. And it's important to keep in mind that all of this is done in the service of what Bordwell calls intensified continuity to completely suck us in and trap us in the film's narrative without letting us for a second break our concentration and lose track of what's going on. The last scene I mentioned really focuses on moving camera. It really uses a lot of fast cuts, close-ups, and things like that to really achieve this sense of intensified continuity. And I just think that this film was a great example of that, and using the moving camera to achieve a sense of urgency and liveliness in a film.